out cruising around in the Jeep Gladiator this morning. It's a great day out here so far. It's supposed to rain later, but a nice sunny, rather cool day for deep South Texas anyway. And I have a question for you. My Jeep Gladiator, and I'm not sure if they all come this way or not, but it's equipped with auto stop. The dreaded auto stop. The feature that you have to push the button to deactivate if you don't want to use it. Personally, I think that you should only have to push that button one time, and then it should be off until you reinitiate it again, right? But that's not how it works. Default is always on. Now, you can get aftermarket solutions to make it stay off, I guess. It's a little plug-in device. A lot of places call it the auto stop eliminator, but you plug it in the dash area, and then it always defaults to whatever setting, I guess, you chose last. For instance, if you turn it off, it will remember that, and it will always stay off until you reactivate it and start it again, right? So anyway, I had a thought. You know, we of course have the auxiliary battery system as well. We're on a pretty rough road right now, so it's a good day to be in a 4x4. This is a road that they're resurfacing. I didn't know they were resurfacing it, so I'm sure you're getting a lot of vibration and noise, and I'm bouncing around a bit. Apologize for that, but it's a video, right? So anyway, we have the auxiliary battery system, and it never fails. Most times that system, or the battery I should say, goes bad. It goes bad after about 3 to 4 years, something like that. And then it'll start to drain your main battery, and then your main battery goes bad. So I'm thinking, if you don't use the auxiliary battery system, or the auto stop system, if that somehow increases the likelihood, or makes it sooner, I guess, that auxiliary battery is going to go dead. In other words, you need to use the system or you're going to lose the system. It's that old use it or lose it thing, right? I wonder if that's the issue, because for me, in all 4 Jeep Gladiators that I've had, I always push the button to turn the system off, and I have had the auto stop eliminator device in a couple of Jeep Gladiators. So in essence, I never run the system. I never let it do what it was designed to do, right? So I'm thinking maybe that's why. Maybe it's because I don't let that whole auxiliary battery, which is tied into the auto stop system, by the way, but I don't let the auxiliary battery do its thing the way that it was designed to operate, I guess. So I'm wondering if you've got a Jeep Gladiator that unfortunately is equipped with auto stop, or maybe you like the auto stop. And by the way, what is the reason for auto stop anyway? I know a lot of people out there believe that it was designed to save fuel, and that's the first thing that you would think, right? I mean, if the vehicle shuts off, it's not burning gas, right? But then you restart, and it takes a lot of fuel, relatively speaking, to restart a vehicle. I mean, that's one of the biggest usages, obviously, other than being on the accelerator too much. But that's one of the biggest single uses of fuel, right? So it's really not designed for that. What it's designed for is to reduce emissions. You know, an old government policy, when the government gets involved in our vehicles, that was an answer, I guess, for Jeep and many others, to reduce emissions for the environment, which is not a bad thing. I mean, we only have one planet, right? You don't want to poison it any more than we already do. That's a whole nother topic, I suppose. But anyway, it's a horrible system. But does anybody out there actually like it? Leave it alone, prefer that it's on? I'd be curious to know. But anyway, I mentioned I've had the auto stop eliminator before, and I think I'll definitely need to be putting it in here, because as easy as it is, I guess, to be able to push the button, I know, first world problems, but to be able to push the button, it's annoying because I never remember to do it. You know, I'll get in the Gladiator and I'll take off, and then I'll pull up to a stop sign and the truck shuts off. And then I'll inch forward to the next stop sign or stoplight or whatever, and the Gladiator shuts off. It's annoying. And I will say that the auto stop feature in the Gladiator is definitely not as smooth as in some other vehicles. I've been in other vehicles that have it, and the way theirs worked, you wouldn't even know it was operating. It's so precise, I guess, or quiet, that you can't even tell that it's working in the background. Not so in the Gladiator. You always know that it's working, right? So I'll probably get one of those, or I shouldn't say probably, I will. I just did it recently in a Toyota Tacoma. Unfortunately, my Tacoma has auto stop in it as well, but there is a product for that too that you can put in between the auto stop button and the wiring to that button. It's very simple to do and very accessible, I guess, in the Tacoma. It took me less than 3 minutes, and now the problem is gone. The only issue, and if you're real particular, it might bother you, is that it will show an icon on your screen that shows the auto stop is deactivated. It's not a big deal. It does that anyway in the Tacoma if you deactivate it yourself by pushing the button. In the Gladiator, the button lights up. Right now I have it off. I'm looking at the button, and the button has a light shining on it because I have it deactivated. So who knows? But I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Does not utilizing the auto stop system, as it's tied in with the auxiliary battery, somehow cause that battery to go bad sooner, and that maybe by not utilizing the auto stop system, we're actually creating that auxiliary battery problem ourselves? What do you think? Is that possible? I don't know. The last thing I want to mention, and I don't know why, in the Tacoma again, we don't have a dual battery system, but we have the aux or the auto stop. Why doesn't Jeep have it set up the same way, so there's only one battery and you don't have to mess around with an auxiliary battery in conjunction with the system? I suppose it's just the way they engineered it, but in looking at the Tacoma, there is a better way. You don't have to have two batteries. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.